Hi, this is Amber Phillips, Ohio Media School, and I have the pleasure of standing next to Mr. Harvey Armstrong.
How you doing? Thank you.
I am doing wonderful. I feel blessed to be at the Pro High School Hall of Fame induction ceremony today. So, how did you get your start into football? How did we get here?
Wow. It started in junior high when I was 13 years old, just having a desire to be a football player. I once told my middle school classmates that I wanted to be in the NFL, and they laughed at me. I mean, they really, really laughed at me. A little fat, chubby kid from Houston, Texas, trying to say he wanted to be an NFL football player. So my dream started at an early age, and it motivated me throughout my career and my life. Those kids laughing at me. Every time I go home, I show them the Super Bowl ring. So I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, you laughing now? So, but it started back in Houston, Texas, in my backyard.
That's awesome. I can relate to that. I used to be 220. I got made fun of a lot, too. Fat kids grew up.
Yes.
So when did football start getting serious? So you started in middle school, you're playing, and when did things kind of take a turn? You're like, yeah,
it got serious in high school. I mean, even in my backyard, we playing then. It was serious. It was always a competition thing. And all my oldest brother, he played. He was pretty good. So for me, it started then because the competition. I was the youngest of four, and the competition started just playing touch in the street, tackle in the ditch. That's how it started. And then it went on into high school, and I realized that I might have a future in this, that NFL might come true. I didn't think I was good enough at that time, but it still was in the back of my mind. Maybe one day I can be on TV like they are on Sundays. And so it got really, really serious in high school when I started getting some accolades on my play.
And what was some of the challenges you faced when you were playing football? So it looks like it's super glamorous. Like, oh, you're in the NFL, you're playing football. It looks super easy, but you guys go through a lot, and there's long-term things that may happen because of that. So can you kind of speak to that a little bit?
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing I look at now, I look at what we suffer with. I mean, my family can tell you the pain. I mean, I've had 14 surgeries. I do suffer with CTE and some memory loss, a lot of that. But the reward is this. And so for me to stand here on this red carpet to do this interview in front of my family and friends and peers is such a blessing. And so everything that I've put up with in the growth of football and the process and that journey, and even now my post-career and the injuries and the pain that my family and my wife have to deal with daily and mentally, it's worth it. It's worth it. If I could do it again, I would. So I'm just so blessed and pleased and excited to stand before you guys of what I did 45 years ago and get some kind of recognition of my achievements. God is good.
God is good.
All the time. So, yes.
So what would you say to high school athletes that are trying to get into it and they're just kind of starting off? Any advice?
I just tell them to be the best they can. They can be. I tell my daughters that I have two girls, and one of them is a volleyball player, and the other is in theater. Just be the best that you can be. And I go speak to high schools, and I tell them, just be the best person, the best athlete you can be, and work hard. Work hard. Nowadays, with all this media attention on high school, this is going to bring more light to high school football, this foundation, what they're doing with the Hall of Fame. They need to start dreaming and believing and working their tails off to get to this point. And it has to be serious. Football is too hard not to take serious. Football is too hard to say, I just go out there for just casual. No, it's a big price, but it's a big reward. But it's a big journey and a long journey, but it's possible. If Harvey Lee Armstrong could get here in Canton, Ohio, 45 years later, the fat, short kid from Houston, Texas, Cashmere Garden, if I can, so can they. And I spread that message every time I go to the high schools and junior high. Hey, take it serious if you want this and believe in what you're doing. Because if I can do it, so can you.
Thank you so much. It's a great message. So I am honored to stand next to you. Thank you so much for your time. That was Harvey Armstrong. I'm Amber Phillips from Ohio Media School.